All right, it is a really, really cold morning here in South Georgia. Um, 25 is what I had at the cabin early this morning. Got some sun coming in now. Very seldom does it get below 30 in South Georgia. Had a little warm up, probably to 50 today, thank God. But I don't have a lot of time today. I got some fellas coming in out of town to talk to me, and there's part of me that wants to talk to them, and part of me don't want to talk to them. Nothing bad, just it is what it is. I stayed at the cabin last night. Just wanted some time to think. Sit around the campfire. Got my old John Deere tractor rim, slap full of wood, and sat there. And it's one of them kind of campfires where you want to stand up and turn sideways. Feel like you're roasting a chicken or something, man. You got to keep turning to keep warming. But the wife stayed home with the youngest boy. He a little under the weather. I don't think any of them really wanted to sit at a campfire with it below 30 degrees. The oldest boy, he's about 4 hours north of here, hanging off the side of a tree, filming a YouTuber doing some deer hunting, and it's much colder where he's at. And I'm here. So don't have much time, but quick little video. Try to make it quick. Got some thoughts. You know what I mean? Got a phone call a couple of days ago from a buddy of mine, good fella, kind of going through a little rough spot. He's fixing to lose his only connection really to his past, what I call the main taproot. And he had a rough past. He did, but the fella he's fixing to lose was like that thread that he hung on to, that resemblance of the only thing that was relatively normal in his life, made him feel like he was a normal kid. And he's fixing to check out. I mean, and it's time. You know, we can say that about certain situations. It's time. And he called me, and he just wanted to talk, you know. And I said, hey, well, let's talk. And as he talked, I said, well, what's your greatest fear right now? What are you feeling? And you hate asking questions like that because you sound like some kind of therapist or something. And he said, no, man. He said, I'm scared of being alone. Now, he's married and got 2 wonderful girls. And I'm like, but I get that. I do. There are so many definitions of being alone, you know, and then how do you tell somebody that? So I said to him, I said, well, have you had any conversations with your wife about this? He said, I don't know how to word it. And I see that a lot throughout the professions, you know, is that we try to search for the right words, right? The right words to clarify, express the definition. I don't think half the damn time there's any perfect words. You just got to spit it out and roll with it. I may have covered it in another video, but back in 1994, there was a man dear to my heart who told me one time, my nickname was Kid, and he was talking about my bride. And she wasn't my bride yet, but she is now. And he said, Kid, she's got a right to know. He goes, I doubt she'll understand, but she deserves to know. And that became my policy. So as I talked to this fella, you know, I told him, I said, you know, what's going on with the girls? He said, well, one came up the other day. They know something ain't right with me. And they said, Daddy, what's wrong? And he said, Daddy's having a bad day. Back when I used to teach, I used to clarify that one pretty good. We don't need to be telling our youngins we're having bad days. I don't think that's a good association. Just tell them you're having a sad day. And then, if appropriate, clarify that a little bit. Bad day just gives it a spin down that road from the get-go. I don't think we need to go down that road. Just, Daddy's having a sad day. Mommy's having a sad day. Some stuff happened at work, and I'm just sad. It kind of lessens all that for you, you know, and lowers that wall that you're trying to put up to insulate and protect them youngins. So as far as being alone goes, as I said, there's so many definitions of that. And I spent a good many years, almost 6 years, being alone. in the beginning of my career. For some, I spent too much time alone. I'm not going to argue that, but wasn't much I could do about it, so I did what I had to do. But to this day, there's a lot of solitude and peace that I find by being alone, and by me sitting at a campfire last night on a Saturday night by myself, eating a big-ass salad, which is what I eat every night, sitting there watching the wood, turning around like a damn chicken getting cooked. It works for me, you know? So alone is not a bad thing. It isn't. And I just think there's multiple definitions of alone. So, with all that being said, it's hard to have the right words for our loved ones to express what's going on inside the squirrel cage. I get that. And I got up the other morning. Well, it was Saturday morning. Today's Sunday. And I got up really early Saturday morning. And I'm working on my 5th book. I'm trying to crank it out. And I had all kinds of thoughts. And I'm typing on the computer that I don't like. And got paperwork out, sitting at the kitchen table. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to bed. A few hours later, the bride wakes up. I'm kind of half-ass awake. She says to me, she said, "What's going on?" And here I am telling another guy to have that conversation with your bride and not knowing the right words. I ain't no different than anybody else. And I laid there in bed looking up, and I said, man, I said, you know, how do I word this? So I worded it the best I could, because she has a right to know. Nothing bad, just trying to put this book together. I got these fellas coming in town today to talk to me, and you know, life. It's just life. But them people next to us, they have a right to know. They do. We will never articulate or have the proper definition for those people to understand what's going on inside our squirrel cage, but they deserve to get a sniff of it. That's my 2 cents today. And I gotta make it a quick video because I really need to get down so I can get to the house and meet these fellas, so my bride isn't having to play hostess. So I'm gonna get you down, spin you around, and we're gonna get back to it. So we up in a magnolia tree. The beautiful magnolia leaves. I used to hang this stand right over there and that tree right there, but we moved it this year. Get down here low. Get you a good look. Man, I hate to get down. It's a beautiful morning. Not very often in South Georgia do we have frost, but when I got out of the cabin this morning, there was frost on the ground. And it's one of the things about it's hard for me to get up in a tree when it's this cold. But I'm waiting for her. So it's like you gotta give a little to get a little. She's fixing to give me some, but I gotta get down. So that being said, who am I today? Dr. Mitchell and I have talked about this many a times. We ain't no different than anybody else. We might know a few shortcuts. We might know a few clinical terms. But I don't give a damn how good you're trained, or how much knowledge or wisdom or trauma you've been through. Excuse the term. We all just a bunch of jackasses trying to find the right words. Seriously, that's it. So whatever you muster up that comes out your pie hole is better than nothing. And that's who I am today. There's the finger, and I'm fixing to hit the big red button because I'm afraid I'm gonna drop this phone. Y'all have a good day.